Take 115. I'm Sam, and I like cars. I like talking about cars and driving cars and photographing cars, and I've been fortunate to make a career doing all of those things. I really love meeting car owners and learning about their car through their lens while I'm taking pictures of it through my lens. And while I shot it, I didn't know what the finished product was gonna look like. I had a good idea of what the emotion was that I wanted to convey. Just a couple guys talking about the car, enjoying a good road, and getting some great rolling shots along the way.
Okay, the problem is I don't really know how to like break up our interview side of things and the photo shoot.
Hey Sam.
Yo.
Yo.
I am going to turn my car around, and then I'm just going to need you to pull up right off of the passenger rear corner,
Okay.
so I can make sure the camera is polarized correctly. Just to give you an idea of what this looks like on the rolling shot feed, where you are is about as close as you should ever be to me.
Okay.
And if we are on a 2-lane road, which I assume most of what we're going to be on is 2 lanes,
Yeah.
stay in like normal legal lane position. Don't go too far towards the center line or too far to the shoulder. I just want you to look like you're driving legally, because we don't want to have incriminating evidence on video that we're breaking the law.
Right on. Yep, I like that.
You can kind of come closer and farther from me, but I'll guide you while we're on the phone here as well, just to get closer to me or back off or whatever. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. It's cool to get this behind the scenes look. Yeah. So at the end of the road, make it left, and then in like about a mile and a half, we'll make another left. But I'll tell you when.
And just let me know if that little red light on the GoPro stops blinking for whatever reason.
Okay. All right. Cool. I meant to ask you what I should be monitoring there.
I'm gonna wait for this truck to pass, and hopefully, like, the biggest thing, especially for shots like this, is that I don't want a car right behind you, because it's super distracting to like come around a corner and see another car tailgating you.
Okay.
And
Sure.
I also try and do the speed limit or a little bit over, just to make sure we don't have traffic really pile up behind us.
Okay.
I would say if you can, stay like 2 to 3 car lengths off of me.
Oh. Okay.
A little bit closer. 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 Yeah, like right there's good.
Okay.
You can fluctuate a little bit too. I mean, my idea with the format of this is to, so like right now it's one of those times, speed up, speed up, speed up, speed up, hang right there for a second. I'm gonna get back over. I don't even know how to introduce it. I don't have a name for this or anything, because it was nothing like an hour and a half ago. Really, I just want to know about Pat. So like, I've seen this car over the years. I remember when you first finished it and David painted it, and Anna photographed it for the magazine, and it was in the calendar once before, and that was a decade ago. So what's your background and how did we get here with this car?
Yeah, so I'm just, Volkswagen guy. As soon as I was in the cars, it was Volkswagen. so like that's always been a big thing, and we're going to make a left here. Sorry. Your first car, Audi 4000, you know, loved it. It was a hunk of trash, but it was my hunk of trash. And you know, I had then a Mark 3 after that, which is just like solidified my love. But you know, you kind of, life takes over, and there was like a decade where I just really wasn't doing Volkswagen or Audi or anything at all, really. Just kind of focusing on career, and you know, I had some health things come up as a surprise 10 or so, well, probably like 12 years ago it's going on now. And one of my big passions was I really love go-karting, and I was looking into do that a little bit more, get a shifter cart or something, and just get a little bit more regular and competitive with that. But so I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and wow, I'm pretty good, you know what I mean? There's no major deal, but like I get a lot of fatigue, and the more I exert myself, the worse the fatigue gets. So as I started doing more of go-karting, it just got really hard. I couldn't finish a race, you know, and if you're competitive, you know how hard it is to be falling behind, and you just can't, you don't have a clue how to catch back up. So it, you know, wound up being something that was the most fun I ever could have, to becoming something that was very frustrating, and you know, it lost its fun, you know. So I pulled back from that, and I kind of just like was like, well, what am I going to do to keep myself busy, you know, and get into something else, you know, kind of like obsess on something else. And so yeah, I just decided, you know, to pick up a 95 GTI VR6 that had bad paint and pretty decent bones, and yeah, that was this car. And
that's this same car that you're driving right now.
Yeah, that's this car. Yeah, it was a clear coat peeling black GTI VR6 on some springs and a bro speed exhaust. That was about it.
What are the odds?
So
I'm gonna have you get a little bit closer to me because I need to get the camera to lock back onto you again. And then we do have one car behind us. Are we gonna be on this road for a while?
Yeah, unfortunately we are. If you want, there is an elementary school coming up on the left just as we start going up that hill. We could pull in there and whip around, let this guy pull off.
So okay. Left right here?
Oh yeah, left right there, yep. And that should be a quick left into the school.
Well, let's keep driving for a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Get a little closer to me so I can get this thing to draw the circle around your car. Okay. And go left again out of here, right?
Yes, yep.
I guess, like, in a nutshell, what's your philosophy on the style of the car? Because I feel like it's an extremely unique build, both in your taste and execution.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it in many ways did ultimately feel like it just came together. But when I kind of, just was the whole preparation point of like, okay, the car is getting painted. I've already met Dave and, say deposit given, that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of time before any work even gets started, let alone how long the work itself takes. But I was just kind of like studying like all Volkswagens. So looking at obviously the Mark 3, which I just had a lot of information on. So you just try to compile the cool pieces that you like, rare stuff, okay. But then I was studying a lot of Mark 1s, a lot of Mark 1 Scirocco's, Mark 1 Polos, had a gigantic influence on me. And I was just kind of, and then I was just kind of like looking at like little characteristics of those that made them unique and just like really grabbed my attention and made me, what was it just about those cars that really stood out to me? So, and there's a lot of design cues, of course, but like on the overall, it's the simplicity. I love the simplicity. They just had less stuff bolted onto them than Mark IIIs and going forward had. So I started looking at those kinds of things, and then of course like motorsport. When I look at any car, like I just see like how you could modify that in a motorsport look. You know what I mean? Like put some meshy wheels, a roll bar in it. Like that's just like, it's my formula. Yeah, it's exactly what I would do to almost every car, just given the checkbook to do it. Yeah, so I think it's just like looking at those like those Mark I era kind of rally cars, hill climbers, stuff like that, and then try to make it a road car. And then like I didn't really like go like strongly off of it, but kind of like in the concept that like Porsche has with the 964 RS America. Like that's a race car, but they refined it out a little bit for the street.
That's a perfect example of what your car is. The RS America, I never really knew what that was until going to H2O one year, and a buddy's friend from Cincinnati had a white one that was there, and it wasn't a normal 964, and I didn't understand what it was that made it look different. And then I learned about it after I shot this one photo of it in the field, and I realized like, yeah, I love that style too. Like it's all of the characteristics of the race car, but they minimize like the nannies of the car that make it more streetable,
Yeah, absolutely. That's the exact kind of like mindset that I had. Of course, like I don't wind up racing the car or nothing like that, but it's just to it's the feel that I love. So this is the Newburgh waterfront here. If you look directly to your right and behind you, or to your left, we've got this wall behind us, which is pretty sweet. The parking lot, if you go straight out back that way, that's probably a pretty open parking lot that could give us the Hudson in the background.
This is a pretty cool spot.
This is a pretty cool spot. I haven't been back here too much.
I think we can totally make this work. I'm gonna pull over and park on the other side here, but I think this might be our spot.
Okay, cool.
This is it's interesting because this area is very familiar to me because I've spent so much time like driving up and down the 78 and the 478. Sure. And when we first pulled down into this area, I thought it was a very similar spot next to Tappan Zee where I shot Swoop's car like 15 years ago.
Oh yeah, probably like Nyack area. Yeah.
That's interesting that it's so similar but not the same.
Yeah, listen, everyone's cookie cutter.
The problem is I don't really know how to like break up our interview side of things and the photo shoot. All right, I'm gonna hang up the call now and hop out and position you where I think it works.
So.
Do you like the front or the back of your car more?
Yeah, the front.
Yeah? Okay. Let's do that. Why don't you hop in and turn it around and basically pull parallel onto the sidewalk right there.
So,
Facing this way. Yep. Go back just a little bit. Put it in neutral and take your foot off the brake. Right there. And then turn the wheels that way a little bit. More. 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 There. A little less. Right there. Perfect. I like that. That looks good to me. It's a pretty unique spot.
Yeah. Oh man, that's cool.
Hell yeah. It's a cool shot of of that bird just flying around in the foreground.
Oh, that's cool. We need you to sign a release. Can you come back, please? You'll just blur the seagull's face.
That's so funny.